You may have people on teams that are responsible for doing things, but if you don't know what they're doing, you're not running a successful business.
In one of my other brands, I had a very expensive bump in the road because I was just so focused on getting money. And I had issues in my team, which led to extreme loss.
And I asked her about her nails because I know that she loved to get her nails done. And she was like, no, I can't wear nail polish because the nail polish burns my nails. The chemicals, they really burn.
Welcome to Her Beauty Regimen with Chanel, where we celebrate beauty, wellness, and the personal journeys of inspiring women and beauty founders. Join us as we dive into authentic conversations that highlight the beauty in every story. Hello. Welcome to Her Beauty Regimen podcast with Chanel. Thank you so much for tuning into another episode. We have another amazing guest. I'm really excited to introduce to you Michelle Robinson, and she is the founder of DEMIblue. Let me tell you a little bit about DEMIblue. DEMIblue was born as Michelle watched her mother, who's a breast cancer survivor, lose the joy of her usual nail routine due to harsh chemicals. She was so determined to bring back that sparkle. She did something about it. Y'all, she created a vegan-friendly, cruelty-free formula, free from 21 toxic ingredients. And what began as a loving gift for her mom, it has become a legacy built on purpose. And so the name blends Demi after Michelle's granddaughter, who can't get enough of the nail polish, with blue, her favorite color, symbolizing depth, trust, loyalty, sincerity, wisdom, and confidence. And so I'm really excited to introduce to you Miss Michelle. Hey, how are you?
Hey, nail friend.
Hey. I absolutely love your brand, and I've told you that multiple times.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. Very, very grateful to have you on. So we're just going to jump right on in. It started as a response to your mother's breast cancer journey, DEMIblue. Can you share how that moment led to creating a nail care brand with just such a powerful mission?
Absolutely. So my mother, she expresses her personality through her fashion, right? Mm-hmm. You'll see my mom with blue hair, yellow hair. Listen, makeup, nails, all the things. But when going through chemotherapy, radiation, things like that, as a breast cancer patient, it's very difficult to do those things. You watch the person lose their hair and they're not able to do the things that help them to feel confident and beautiful as a woman. And I remember my mom was coming up the stairs one day and I asked her about her nails because I know that she loved to get her nails done. And she was like, no, I can't wear nail polish because the nail polish burns my nails. The chemicals, they really burn, and now that I'm going through cancer treatments, I'm really sensitive to those chemicals. The doctor said to stay away from this and to stay away from that. And it was just like a light bulb moment that went off for me because I do have background in healthcare. I understand the body's reaction to certain chemicals, but never thought about it as it pertained to nail polish. And so immediately I just started researching what she could use that was on the market already. And there were very limited amount of nail polishes that claimed to be healthy, right? But none of them spoke to my mom's bubbly personality. The colors were dull and so DEMIblue was born from that, just creating bold, vibrant, healthy colors so that my mom could use it, our kids, my grandkids, and women who were undergoing any type of health issues that prevented them from using chemicals that could be potentially harsh.
That is such a beautiful love story. And I love your colors. You have so many different flavors and it's really exciting. I'm a bold nail girly myself, even though right now I was trying something different. I was trying this little French manicure thing. I don't know. I just try something different, but you're going to see me in bright pink.
Yes.
Highlighter yellow.
Yes. And I have it all.
Green. I'm going to I love those colors. Those are my favorite colors. I don't really get a lot of designs, so I like
Yeah,
that I can express
me too.
in bright colors. So I love that you thought about that.
Yeah.
And y'all, she sells her line on herbeautyregimen.com. So you can go and check
Yes.
out DEMIblue and add those cart because she has tons of cute nail colors and press on nails as well. So I want to get into the name because the
Yeah.
name is so unique. So the name DEMIblue, you in your bio, I read it's so personal and meaningful.
Yeah.
How does the story behind the name influence the way you run your business and connect with your customers?
Absolutely. So first and foremost, it's about legacy. I think in our community, we are more mindful that we need to be able to create and pass things down to our families. Right? The Bible says, not you, but your kids. Right? So on and so on. And so it was important for me to create something that maybe I wasn't able to bless my kids with, but my granddaughter and her kids and their kids will be able to benefit from it. And so, and really inviting my granddaughter to understand what community looks like was a part of it too. So not only am I selling a nail polish, but I'm also creating a community and educating women and little girls about the harsh chemicals that make nail polish up, and using my granddaughter as an opportunity to teach her how to teach other people, to get involved with things that are concerning and to create solutions to problems. And so it was important to name it after her, just so that she can have an option, right? She can have an option to build something of her own and to pass it down. And like I said, to build a legacy around that and community. And then blue, I mean, blue is my favorite color. So I had to incorporate that somehow. It took me a while to figure out what name was I going to name this nail polish, right? And so blue being my favorite color and just representing what it represents, strength and power and things like that. And it was just point. It was right on point.
I love that. And I love that you named it after your granddaughter. That is just such a special That's such a special thing, a special tribute that you did for your family in the legacy part. And also with creating community. We were talking about this before we went live, and we were talking about the different events and things that you have at your nail studio, at your brick and mortar. Can you talk a little bit about those and what inspires you to not only have an e-commerce brand, but to really be active inside your community?
Absolutely. So community started with me working in healthcare. I was in healthcare for over 11 years. And a part of being in healthcare is that you provide resources and services to your community. Doing like wellness events and health fairs and things like that really opened up the love that I have for my community and working with them in that capacity. And so transitioning as an entrepreneur and in the nail polish business, it was automatic that I had to create ways to engage the community and offer an opportunity for them to learn not just about me, but about these chemicals in nail polish and why it's important for them to have a choice to make the change. And so that's really how you get your buy-in with your community. They help me select the nail polish colors. They help me name them, right, through my focus groups that I have once a year. We do manicures for breast cancer survivors. It's an opportunity to have a conversation with them about traditional nail polish and the chemicals. So what ways can we create opportunities to have the conversation to make nail polish fun, but an important topic, and to get them to learn about DEMIblue and possibly make the conversion to healthier nail care. I mean, we have custom nail parties in our store. You get to make your own press on nails, right? It's just all about community with our brand.
That is so amazing. And I love how you blend healthcare, community, beauty, fun, events all into one thing. So did you have to like go to school or anything and get like any kind of certification to do nails? Or is this like, or like, how did you learn? Was this a natural thing that you had? Like, tell us a little bit about that process.
Yeah, so I do, like I mentioned, I do have a background in healthcare. I started out in the medical field. I served for 11 years. I went back to school and got a dual master's degree. So I have a dual master's degree in business and managerial science. I think those opportunities led me to understand how to build people how to pour into the community and really understand the business practices. And then, of course, from the nail standpoint, in order to provide services, I had to go back and get a manicuring license. And so that gives me the ability to not only dive deeper into the structure of nails, but to offer that service as well.
That's what I wanted to get at, because I love how you didn't let your limitations of, okay, like I want to do something in nails, and you didn't just go out there. Like, you actually went and learned the science behind it and got certified in nail manicures and different things of that nature. I think that's really important that we do continuing education as we branch into new, what becomes a passion to turn it into an actual business. I guess this leads me to my next question, which I know isn't on my questions list, but I want to ask you, I want you to go a little bit deeper into how your business degrees, your wisdom that you gained from school, like how did that really help you grow and scale and build DEMIblue?
Yeah, I love that question because, you hear a lot of people say you don't need a college degree. You don't have to go to college. I became a billionaire and I didn't go to college. I feel like I'm torn with that, right? Because I feel like my college degree really helped me. I'm not a billionaire yet, right? But I'm also ahead of understanding my financials, operations, building a team. All those things factor into becoming an entrepreneur and running a successful business. So instead of doing it backwards, I know it on the front end, and it's going to help me work less harder on the business side, right, of the business while I'm growing on the financial side. So I just think it's important to have that business acumen up front, to have an understanding of how to run a legal and successful business and how to grow a team, how to manage a team. That's important. They say a lot of small businesses go out of business within the first 5 years. It's not just because of financials. It's because of not understanding the business and how to run a business. And especially in the African American community, where we're coined as having side hustles or things like that. No, we're running businesses too. And I think that degree really helps me be able to do that at full capacity.
Oh my goodness. Listen, you're going to either learn it from the streets
Right.
or you're going right. You're either going to learn it the hard way, or you're going to learn it the correct way. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I learned. I think I'm a hustler by nature. I get that from my birth dad. I didn't have a great relationship with him, but when I met him, I said, "Oh, baby, I see that was in my DNA." and so sometimes when you're a hustler, you're like, "I don't even worry about all that. I just want to get to the money, get to the money, get to the money, get to the money." And as a serial entrepreneur myself, I can definitely attest. Like, I hit in one of my other brands, I hit a very expensive bump in the road because I was just so focused on getting money. And I had issues in my team, which led to extreme loss that we had to make up. And that happened. Let's see, that company, I own a publishing company. That company is 6 years old. And that happened around year 3. And we are just now seeing the horizon from that huge mistake. And so instead of paying for a business degree, I paid for a cleanup degree. Okay. Go in and clean up the mess from not setting that up correctly. And you know what? I asked that question because that wasn't taught to me. I think I got in programs and I got in front of mentors, and it was all about making money. So I was like, making money. That's my thing. Like, I was good at that. I was horrible at running a business. That was from a business perspective, like the back end, the teams, the financials, the understand. I realized, I said, oh, I don't really like this over here. I like making money. I like the hearing the cha-ching come off. I like the rush of making the money. But you mean I got to talk to people? I got to have team meetings?
Yeah.
Y'all don't know what you're doing. So that part I feel like is not talked about enough.
Yeah, and then you see, you see celebrities go through tax evasion and all the things with tax. Well, I'm not a tax expert, but I know what to watch, right? I know what reports are supposed to look like, all because of that experience. and that exposure.
I mean, we're right now at the time of this recording, we're in the midst of just watching a very notable Black brand, the Uncle Nearest brand. They're faced with $100 million lawsuit.
Yeah.
Because of financials and overinflating inventory. And the founder's like, oh, it's the CFO's fault. Look, I don't know. You the CEO. I'm sorry. You cannot throw your CFO in the bus. That's all I'm going to say.
You may have people on teams that are responsible for doing things, but if you don't know what they're doing, you're not running a successful business. It doesn't matter how much money you bring in.
You are absolutely right. Yeah. I learned that the hard way. I learned to trust but verify.
Yeah. And the caveat to that is you don't have to know everything. You can empower your team to do those things. Also empower your team to train you. You can learn as a leader. That's what a great leader is. A person who's willing to delegate, yes, but to learn from the people who know more than them. And I've always been an advocate of learning from people around me.
That's really good. That is smart. Yeah. So listen, business owners, are y'all listening? This is definitely some nuggets that are being dropped. And one day I say I'm going to write down my mistake. I'm so glad it was $100,000 mistake and not $100 million.
Okay, come on now.
But that $100,000 mistake hurt though. It hurt. It hurt. But I'm very grateful. So just kind of moving into our final question, and thank you for your transparency in that and just sharing your wisdom. You've created a vegan, cruelty-free, 21-free polish that prioritizes health and joy. Can you talk to me about what does clean beauty mean to you, and how do you hope to reshape the nail care industry with your approach?
Absolutely. So unfortunately, the nail industry is not focused on health. Right? They're focused on cosmetics and beautification. So I wanted to pair the two. It was important for me because my mom's experience with cancer and I don't fault the nail industry. I feel like that's their role, right? Beautification. But we're living in a more health conscious environment. It is crucial that we are meeting the beauty, the clean beauty, and the health standards that are upon us. People are wanting to live longer. They're wanting to eat healthier. They're wanting to look better. They're wanting to feel better. All of that is a part of what we not only consume, but what we're also putting on our bodies. Our skin is the largest organ. The things that we put on our nails are absorbed into our skin. It's important that it is healthier. And so, like I mentioned, we are in a more health conscious environment. So clean beauty is on the stage now, right? We're looking at those ingredients and we're trying to do better. And so it was important for me to get ahead of that through the nail care products that we offer and making sure that we're meeting the clean beauty demands the customers are asking for, by looking at the ingredients that are offered in conventional nail polishes and not putting them in ours, right? Because chemicals are chemicals, right? Chemicals make up certain things. They do certain things, but we don't have to use the cheaper ones because they're the most toxic. We're going to invest in chemicals that do the same thing, but that are not toxic. And so, just making sure that we're meeting those demands. And that our chemicals aren't tested on animals. They're not made of animal derived ingredients like glitters and animal fats and things that are used to make cosmetics and are used to test the validity of cosmetics.
Oh man, that is so good. And I'm so glad you broke that down. I'm a former chemical engineer, so I worked in manufacturing, and I always talk about, I try to explain to people what happens oftentimes when you're smaller and you're self-owned or private, and then you end up transitioning either to be in public or you're doing massive distribution, and how to run the output that is required. They'll sometimes compromise some of those ingredients.
Yeah.
And that's where the change happened. You're like, it wasn't like that before. No, it wasn't, because they could afford to make smaller batches. So imagine you being able to produce smaller batches because you're smaller, but then you say, okay, I now I have to fill up 2,000 stores across the US.
Yeah.
Now you have to have such a large distribution and manufacturing that, you know, sometimes it can be, they start skimming on those ingredients. So that's one reason why I urge people to shop even just smaller brands. And I'm not calling your brand small, but like brands that care about, that have enough control. There we go. Brands that have enough control of their ingredients to care about your health.
Yeah, absolutely. And I used to struggle with that too. I used to struggle with, do I want to go in big box retail stores? That was my initial goal. And then I realized that doesn't keep my brand unique. It doesn't keep my brand a specialty, right? I feel like when you get DEMIblue, you feel different. You know that it's clean, it's healthier, and it makes you feel. You go to the store and you're like, oh my God, I got DEMIblue. It's clean, it's beauty. I know the owner's story. I know why that's the intimacy. That's the relationship that I want. And those big box retail stores may not give me that.
I like that. That's good. You could be the Birkin of nail polish. You're not walking in anywhere getting you a Birkin bag, baby.
That's
you got to know somebody that knows somebody and have a relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
So
yes, ma'am.
I see nothing wrong with it. And that's one thing I love about herbeautyregimen.com is those are the type of brands that we have on our site. Those are the type of brands that we're catering to, whether they want to go big box retailer, they want to remain exclusive and only sold on certain platforms. We're very honored to have DEMIblue on ours. So in wrapping up our amazing interview, thank you so much for your time. Is there anything you want to leave with our listeners?
Absolutely. So one of the things I want to lead is that, again, we are fighting cancers one manicure at a time. We're wanting to make sure that not only are we don't want to be reactive to situations, we want to be proactive. And that's what DEMIblue is. And we also have a complete line of nail polish colors for little kids, because we know that kids are using nail polish as early as 3 years old, 4 years old, and they're still putting their hands in their mouths and they're exposed to those chemicals as well. So we do have a line for kids called DEMIblue for girls. It's important to get those in the hands of little girls as well. It's also a 21 free formulation, and we have a complete line. So it's not just nail polish. Like you mentioned, we have press-on nails. We have nail polish remover that does not have acetone, cuticle oils, nail strengtheners with coffee extracts. And what nail polish do you know is enriched with vitamins? I'm waiting. None. So yes, our nail polish products are enriched with vitamins. We definitely put the care and love into our products to make sure that our customers have the best.
See, what you got to do is you got to franchise DEMIblue so that there's DEMIblue nail salons.
Oh man.
Across the world, right?
I'm working on that.
I'm like, I see the vision, because I'm thinking like, man, if I could just go in, to walk in, because I know you're right now, because I love how you said you're not a billionaire yet.
Yes.
Okay. I love how we can walk in now in St. Louis, but for those of us girlies who are all over the US, we're here in Atlanta. I can't wait to be able to walk into a DEMIblue salon in Atlanta, because I'm going. As soon as it's here, sign me up.
Absolutely. And if you know any nail salons, spas, or retail stores that are interested in carrying healthier nail polish like DEMIblue, please refer them to us. We do have a referral program where we pay you for a referral fee. If you suggest our products into a salon and they accept us, you get paid for that, honey.
Okay, I'm gonna have to work on that.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Michelle. I love this interview. You dropped so many amazing gems. And thank you guys for listening to another episode of Her Beauty Regimen podcast with Chanel. And we will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode of Her Beauty Regimen with Chanel. I hope you felt seen, inspired, and reminded that beauty is so much more than what we wear. It's how we care for ourselves and show up in the world. If you loved what you heard, here's how you can stay connected. Subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. at HBR Brand for daily beauty, wellness, and founder stories. Share this episode with a friend or fellow beauty lover who needs to hear this. And if you're ready to explore indie beauty products and brands that put care first, visit us at herbeautyregimen.com. Until next time, stay well, stay radiant, and keep showing up as your whole self.